Friends, Orange Crayon and I are back from Belgium. I love Belgium. The food is amazing. Did you enjoy it? I kind of did. Of course you did. Orange Crayon. We met up with the artist Rene Magritte, and Rene Magritte was born in Belgium in 1898. He died at 68 years old, and he is known for his witty and thought-provoking images. It's a long mouthful in a very short space of time. What does that mean? It means that he took ordinary objects, he depicts them in an unusual context that really challenges the observer's perception of reality. So I'm like, what did I see? Does it really mean this? No. Does it really mean this? Right? When he was younger, he worked as a draftsman in a wallpaper factory. And he was also a poster and advertisement designer for several years in the 1920s. In 1927, he had his first solo exhibition, and after that, he moved to Paris, where he would consult with artists like Salvador Dali, Max Ernst, and even Pablo Picasso. This guy is world-renowned. We are going to create our version of Son of Man, and it's going to look something like this. And we are also celebrating Earth Day, so notice a little earth right there. And that'll get you thinking a little bit. Why did we put that there? Maybe your concept might be different to my concept. There's a thought. I'll see y'all on the drawing board. Hey friends, today we're going to do our version of Rene Magritte's Son of Man. We will do some modifications to this. These are the materials that we will need to use today. I need a black sheet of paper, a pencil and an eraser, a Sharpie marker, and definitely something to create forms of color. It can be color pencil, crayons, or markers. I'm going to go ahead and clear my board. And one of my major modifications to this is actually going to be the object that covers the face. And since it is Earth Day, I am going to place Earth, or the globe, to cover the face. And I'm going to put North America up here and South America down there. I'm pretty sure your continent is going to look way better than my continent. All right, and some islands. Wonderful. And right about on the outside of the globe is going to be the face. And the face has almost a round shape. For the most part, it is covering the face. I'm going to add in the ears. And in Son of Man, he is wearing a hat, so I'm going to go ahead and place a hat. Now, if you want to do a self-portrait and you want to add you in instead of the Son of Man, feel very free to do that. This goes into the neck. Attached to the neck is going to be the collar of his shirt. So we'll start off there. And he does have a jacket on. So I'm going to make these lines slope a little bit. And we're going to attach the jacket on. It's one side. This is the collar of the jacket, the flap of the jacket, I should say. And that's the other side. And then it starts to do a little gradual drop. Inside here is where we're going to have the collar of the shirt with the tie. So right here, I'm going to do an upside down V. And I'm going to connect this right back to what appears to be the jacket. And right in here is where my tie is going to happen. So I have one line and it looks like a little, it almost looks like a diamond, if you would. Very short horizontal line. And two diagonal lines just drops from there. That's going to be the tie. So let's finish our jacket. That's one of his shoulders dropping on that side. We'll extend this one to drop the other side. one line down. This is going to be his arms. And that's going to be his jacket that kind of does this bit. So let's fill in the other side of the jacket. It's the collar, and we need some buttons. Let's do one more button. Okay, this is going to be that inside part of the arm. When you're standing at attention and you have your arms dropped, this is what happens right about there. Now, I'm going to stop here because I want you to add in your arms. It does not have to be arms, it can be wings. Maybe you want to add some fruits to his arms instead. I'm going to put let's put an apple right here. Remember, surrealism does not have to make any sense. This is stuff that happens in your dreams. You wake up and you're really thinking about, did that really just happen? Maybe it did. I'm going to draw a line here. This is going to tell me where my jacket has stopped. Let's put a house over here. And then we'll just draw two lines here, and this is going to be where his legs are going to go. All right, let's create some background now. So I have a horizontal line. It appears to disappear behind him and then reappears on this side. And he's standing in front of some cinder blocks. Disappears again. Reappears again. And I want my bricks to look a little bit three-dimensional, so I'm going to show you a little trick. I'm going to go back in here, and this is a dividing line. The bottom part is going to look a little bit thicker than the top portion. Disappears behind, reappears here again. And I'm going to pick two spots, one here and one on this side, and create two vertical lines. And I want these vertical lines to almost look like they're shifting a little bit to the left. And this one is going to shift a little bit to my right. So if I were to extend these two lines, they would look like they're going to meet at some point behind his head. And that's what we call one-point perspective. That gives you a little bit of depth. Let's add in another brick. Another row of bricks, I should say. And I'm going to stagger these lines. So if this line was here, just to show that I had some bricks, I'm going to draw a line on this side. And I'm going to draw another line here, but my arm is in the way, so I'm going to draw a line here. This is called staggering the bricks. This is a method that we use when we are drawing bricks to show that they're layered. Awesome. Right behind him, he has a very beautiful extended horizontal line. The ocean is behind him. So I'm going to draw a line that looks like it disappears behind his shoulders, reappears on the other side. This is my sky. This is my water. And he's standing on land. All right, friends, now we're ready to add color. I'm adding 2 shades of blue. This is going to give me more of a realistic ocean look. You don't have to do this concept. I'm also going to go back in and add a little bit of lighter green on some parts. If your green is too dark, you can add yellow, and that's going to help lift some of the color. Adding 2 shades of brown. Some lighter areas and some darker areas. Here's a beautiful red tie. I'm going to use white to help blend some of this red, so it's not a full-on red tie. And this one is a tricky one. So he has a black suit on. Black is a very hard color to lighten if you press too dark. So what I like to do is start off lightly. I'm going to start off adding my black very lightly. And then in parts where I know my black is going to appear to be darker, I'm going to press a little darker. Now, if you want, you can use a white color pencil to help soften some of the white, but it also depends on the color pencil you're using. Some color pencils may not give that exact look that you're looking for. So starting off light, and in areas that I need a little bit of darker black, I press a little bit harder. So right underneath the collar of the shirt, there's a little bit of a shadow. So I'm just adding a little bit of black. Almost looks like it's gray. It just creates the illusion that there's a shadow that happens there. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and add black to the rest of my suit. And don't forget his hat. Same rule applies with the hat. You want to always start lighter. And as the shape moves on or grows, you want to press a little bit darker. And sometimes you may want to use a white color pencil just to go back in and enhance some of the lighter areas or highlight some of those reflections as you would. I like to use white color pencil to do that throughout the entire suit. It really captures some of those lighter and darker areas. Great, and I'm ready to add some color to my cinder blocks. In the Son of Man, the original artwork, the cinder blocks almost has like a beige and a brown tone. You can change it to red if you want to suit the very red bricks that we see in most of Georgia bricks, or you can add brown. I'm going to use red today, and I'm going to show you how to use red with a little bit of red violet. So here's my red. And of course, with your bricks, you also have some very lighter areas and some darker areas. Your light areas don't apply as much pressure. Your darker areas, you want to apply a little bit more pressure. And this is my red violet. Notice I'm not coloring the entire space. I'm just leaving a little bit open. This is just to kind of add a little bit dimension. I am going to come back in here because I just noticed this. So this line, cinder block, has a vertical line and then it disappears and now it's going to reappear here. So I need a vertical line there. And the same for this side. So now I'm reversing the direction, so I have some heavier areas over here. And some lighter areas on this side. And then we're going to go in and use some black to help highlight some of these areas of dark versus lights. And the same when it goes this way. If you're using 2 shades of brown, you want to do the same thing. I'm going to add a little hint of black. This is my black crayon. Right where the corners meet, there's a deeper sense of darker areas. That's where I'm going to add a little bit extra black in there. And I'm going to do the same on the top as well. And the same for the other side. Okay, and I'm going to add some black. And we have done this before. We take a crayon, break it in half, and then we peel the wrapper off. And this helps us cover a larger space with color in a shorter amount of time so that our crayon lines don't look very streaky. So I like to use the color blue for this, flat on my page. And I'm going to be very careful when it comes to the subject matters. I'm going to circle in a clockwise motion my crayon, and that texture is really going to start building, so I don't end up with some very streaky lines. There's a material called a color stick that does the same effect. And then in parts of your sky where you have some thicker clouds or some clouds gathering, you may want to think about adding a little bit more extra pressure, and that's going to help create that form of clouds. Just like that. That way you're not actually drawing in clouds. It's a very cloudy day. A bright day, but a cloudy day. Awesome. And then I'm just going to add in some blue. I'm not pressing quite as hard. This is for my water that's in the back. And my water has, I'm just going to use a little bit of white over that. Soften that blue. And let's add some color to our apple. I'm using a marker for this one, that way my colors don't appear to be the same for my apple and my bricks that's in the background. If you don't have markers and you want to use color pencils, that could work. Or you can use a highlighter. And I'm going to do the same for my house. So this is a red brick house, but it is going to stand out a little bit more from my red brick background. All right, friends, and there we have it, our version of Rene Magritte's Son of Man. That was so much fun. Thank you for joining me today. Remember, our artist of study today is Rene Magritte. Rene Magritte was born in Belgium. He died at 68 years old, and he was known for his witty and thought-provoking images. In the 1920s, he worked as a draftsman at a wallpaper factory, and he was a poster and advertisement designer for several years. He had his first solo exhibition in 1927, and after that, he moved to Paris, where he sought the company of artists like Salvador Dali, Max Ernst, and Pablo Picasso. This guy's amazing. Thank you for joining me today, y'all. Thank you for joining us today. We had an amazing time with you. Be safe. Until next time. Bye.